Dear colleagues, this is an introduction to my speech that you do not need to interpret. Welcome to our session. Tonight, we'll be covering the 2024 presidential election, which will be held in the United States tomorrow. We will start with this CONSEC in order to set the scene and better understand the last events regarding this presidential election, which has been marked by controversy. I will also mention how votes are counted, since in many European countries the system is completely different. I will mention Joe Biden, Volodymyr Zelensky, Vladimir Putin, Kamala Harris, Donald Trump, the TV network ABC, Hillary Clinton, the Capitol in Washington, D.C., the singer Jennifer Lopez, and the song My Land is Your Land. That said, get your pad and pen ready. My speech starts now. Good evening, dear colleagues. It is happening. 4 years after Joe Biden being elected the President of the United States, the 2024 presidential election is taking place. Early voters have already cast their ballot. As of October 29th, more than 43 million ballots have already been cast. As I mentioned in my introduction, this presidential election has been marked by controversy. Many things happened. First of all, Joe Biden dropped out of the presidential race after months of campaign. His party was divided, and many influential Democrats called for Joe Biden to withdraw from the race. Many people were convinced that he would not be able to beat Trump in the election. Let's not forget the NATO summit event, in which President Biden accidentally introduced Volodymyr Zelensky as President Putin. Joe Biden dropping out meant that the Democrats needed a new candidate. His vice president, Kamala Harris, became the Democratic Party's nominee. If she won, she would become the first female president of the United States and also the first American president of South Asian descent. Who do we have on the Republican side? I think that we all know very well who he is. Donald Trump is running for president again, and he has made headlines and caused controversy throughout his campaign. I could mention the fact that he has mispronounced Kamala Harris's name quite often, calling her Kamala instead of Kamala. I could also mention the attempted assassination of Donald Trump in a rally in Pennsylvania, in which one person was killed, or also his claim that Haitian immigrants were eating the pets, eating the dogs and the cats in Ohio during his debate with Kamala Harris on ABC, or that comedian who called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. Both candidates are spending these last days in the so-called swing states or battleground states. Polls are predicting a tight result, and those states could decide the winner. Why are those states so important? In the US, the winner of the election is not the person who gets the most votes across the country. Instead, both candidates compete to win across the 50 states. Each state has a certain number of electoral college votes. This number is based on each state's population. The number of electoral college votes has changed based on population shifts. Following the 2020 census, Texas won 2 seats, and Colorado, Florida, Montana, North Carolina, and Oregon won 1 seat each. On the other hand, California, Illinois, Michigan, New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia lost one seat each. There are a total of 538 seats, and the winner is the candidate who wins 270 or more. All states, except for Maine and Nebraska, have a winner take all policy. That means the candidate who gets the most votes in that state is the one winning all the electoral college votes of that state. Most states lean towards one party or the other. States such as California lean towards the Democratic Party. States such as Kentucky lean towards the Republican Party. That means that the focus is usually on these swing states I mentioned, such as Georgia, Arizona, or Pennsylvania. That is why it is possible for a candidate to win the most votes nationally, but still be defeated by the Electoral College. This is what happened to Hillary Clinton in 2016. Usually, the winner is declared on the night of the election, but in 2020, it took a few days to count all the votes. The president is officially sworn into office in January in a ceremony known as the inauguration. The inauguration is held on the steps of the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. Last year, some artists performed during the inauguration ceremony, such as Jennifer Lopez singing This Land Is Your Land. The world is watching and will be watching America closely, since the outcome of this election will define the course of international politics. I hope that you like my speech, and I thank you for your attention.